not in the finest mood right now, but things are happening with Celsius.
Tell us why, Tiff.
Celsius,
Tell us why.
which is
Little personal stuff going on, huh?
relationship a bit rocky, but we won't talk about it on this video.
All right. All right. I'm always open. You know, Louis is always open for relationship
Lily
advice.
gave me a little bit of relationship advice right before this video. Anyway, Celsius is suing some of its own creditors. I am a Celsius creditor. Celsius once tried to sue me. Do you remember that, Louis? We didn't actually cover that, you and I.
Oh, that's right. Remind us why Celsius tried to sue you.
Well, I lost a shit ton of money to Celsius back in July
Well,
2022.
that was still when Mashinsky was in charge, right?
Yeah, Mashinsky was still CEO at the time, and I was posting angrily about Celsius constantly and doing little update videos. Employees started leaking me a bunch of information from inside the company, which I began to release. I never worked at Celsius. I never signed any NDAs, but Celsius was not pleased that I was releasing all of this private information from inside the company and tried to sue me, the creditor, the victim here, even though they owed me quite a bit of money. They spent over $70,000 talking about whether or not they could sue me. This showed up in a bankruptcy filing that it was the Tiffany Fong litigation. They ultimately, I think they just came to the conclusion they didn't have grounds to sue me because ultimately I didn't sign an NDA. I'm a victim here. So that was fun. But now Celsius is trying to sue lots of other creditors that tried to withdraw their money.
Or no, successfully withdrew.
Or actually, creditors that successfully withdrew money in the 90 days prior to the
And
bankruptcy.
most of the lawsuits are for people who withdrew all their money.
So they're not actually going after every single creditor that just withdrew. They're specifically going after ones who withdrew all of their money from Celsius. And they're specifically suing the creditors who withdrew more than $100,000 from their account.
Yes.
Hey, it's me, Tiff. I know a lot of people who follow me or might recognize me were once customers of FTX. Well, that's where FTX Creditor comes in. FTX Creditor will buy your FTX bankruptcy claim and pay you immediately in USDC. FTX Creditor has actually bought more FTX claims than all of the other claims buyers combined. FTX Creditor even buys small claims as low as $1,800, all the way up to claims as large as $10 million. So if you're interested in selling your FTX claim for immediate liquidity or in selling your Voyager, BlockFi, or Celsius stub, you can go to ftxcreditor.com or contact them on Telegram at @ftxcreditor or on X at @ftxcreditor_com. As someone who didn't withdraw a single penny from Celsius, ultimately, I would financially benefit from clawing back the money from those who did withdraw and were able to withdraw. So in some way, I financially benefit from this. Although I do think that customers who had no knowledge or awareness of Celsius's wrongdoing, I don't think they should really be sued for this, for withdrawing their money. But I don't know. How do you feel about this, Lou?
So I would have felt very differently about it between a SEX, centralized exchange, like in FTX, for instance. If clawbacks had been aggressively pursued, which they might be in FTX, but I don't think so, I would feel very differently about it because it's really unfair, particularly in the 90 days. Like, you just withdrew your money in ordinary course of business. You didn't know. Like, in Celsius, you actively lent your money to Celsius.
Yeah, we technically transferred title to our coins to Celsius.
You agreed to the terms and conditions. You put your money on there to gain yield and interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is something to be said about it. Now, I would be very pissed if I were being sued for a clawback in Celsius. So I can imagine it happening to me being like, fuck this shit, right? Like, I got my money out, fuck you. I would probably settle by now, because or else you're just going to get a judgment against you. The law is pretty clear, though. Like, you do owe this money back. Like, I don't really know how people are going to hide from it. Now, the lawsuits are interesting because they're trying to add extra pressure by suing them using June 24 BTC prices. So I saw one guy got sued for $140 million. Well, he did not remove $140 million.
You mean at the time? At
the time he removed less, right? Because it was.
So they're not using the price of Bitcoin at the time they withdrew. They're using the price of Bitcoin on a specific day.
Like, I can show you a random one, right? There's so many of them, I can't even count them. You can see this guy is like getting sued for these off-platform withdrawals that he did on March 15th, 2022. Well, one BTC on March 25th, 2022 was not 66K, right?
Mm-hmm.
That should be, what was it? 22K, which is pretty fucked up, if you ask me.
Yeah. I have some friends that withdrew money, so I mean, I really do feel for them. I do financially benefit from clawbacks.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Everybody does. Like,
I'm not the most angry about this because I didn't withdraw any money. But I can absolutely understand why some people would be upset. And I do feel sorry, especially for my friends that I know who withdrew more than $100,000. And I am worried for them.
I
But
definitely think it's wrong to get today's Bitcoin price, but I also understand that it adds pressure. I mean, if you removed, like, let us know in the comments what people think, but like, if you removed one Bitcoin in your clawback, should you be asked to put a Bitcoin back in?
yeah, do they want the dollar amount back or do they want the Bitcoin itself back?
Look, I think they want the dollar amount in the end. But what they're saying is, look, we paid out in Bitcoin. You took out Bitcoin. Give us the Bitcoin back. I think they're doing that to add pressure.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine the amount of anxiety and stress this is causing people. So a lot of settlement is going to happen, is what I expect. But yeah, I mean,
Anytime Celsius is going after their own creditor is just not a good look after they defrauded us all. But
it is in the bankruptcy code. I mean, Celsius is basically now going after every pot of money they can see. They're going after FTX. They're like, okay, it is our job to sue to maximize recovery for the largest amount of creditors, and for them to pick out as many lawyer fees as possible. Anyway, so that's that on clawbacks on Celsius. The other thing is that like the mining co is totally not listed on NASDAQ. That didn't work out, did it?
the mining co was supposed to be listed on the NASDAQ, right? Was that the
By
final
now, yeah.
evolution? Yeah. Well, I mean, I had no expectations for the mining co. I also haven't even claimed my Ionic Digital shares because I'm like, I wanted my
Well,
Bitcoin
they were
in
just
Ether.
send them to you. That's it. You don't have to do anything.
Okay. I haven't logged in to check them. I haven't logged in to look at them. I don't think we're able to sell them right now anyway. So I'm kind of just like, well, that exists, I guess. I have low
People
expectations.
ask me frequently, hey, like, can I sell you my Ionic Digital shares? And I'm like, dude, I thought of this and I did the exercise of how much would I think they're worth. And I'm like, there's basically no like reasonable amount of money I'd be willing to pay for these.
I agree. Mentally, I've kind of zeroed them out in my head. I don't think they're probably worth anything. So that's fun.
Scammeroony.
Gamaroonie. Is anything else exciting happening with Celsius?
Nothing exciting is happening with Celsius. In 9 days, they have that FTX hearing to see if they can get some money out of FTX. And
Oh,
also, they're like, Celsius is essentially trying people that removed money from Celsius and put it on FTX. They want to do the clawbacks directly and just be like, hey, Celsius, FTX, just give us the money instead of the original creditors.
do you think that's going to be successful?
I do not think so, no.
Okay.
But I do not know for sure. And well, look, the FTX voting is coming up in a couple days, which I'm pretty excited about. Let's see. You know, I
We'll have
want us to
another.
go through the ballots because they're complicated, but I haven't received a single one yet. So
We'll do another video on the FTX ballot, how to vote in the FTX plan. Yeah, lots of bankruptcy news coming out. How exciting!
so exciting! And Louis is going to
Yay.
France, so our next little chat will be from France.
Oh, ooh, dungeon.
Dungeon.
Dungeon. Yay. I'm
Clawback.
in Los Angeles, guys. Not feeling my most refreshed right now, but I am in Los Angeles. Louis gives me relationship advice. Thank you, Louis.
Try my
We
best.
love,
Yeah.
we love Louis.
My lawyer has been calling me twice since he
Oh,
last
you
called
gotta
me,
go.
so I'm going to
Okay.
disconnect and talk to him. But
Bye,
Tiff,
Lou.
make it easy. Have a bagel.
I'll have a bagel. Thanks, Lou.
Bye.
Bye.